Imagine a whisper from the deep, a silent promise held for 2 millennia, waiting for the precise moment to resurface and rewrite history. Some secrets are meant to be found, destined to emerge from the abyss, not just as relics, but as profound revelations. This is the story of such a secret, a journey into the extraordinary tale of the Mahdia Shipwreck, a submerged time capsule that has redefined our understanding of ancient art and ambition. It's a narrative woven with human endeavor, the unforgiving power of nature, and the sheer miracle of preservation. Our story begins around 80 BC in the tumultuous waters of the ancient Mediterranean. The Roman Republic was a burgeoning power, its elite citizens hungry for the cultural sophistication of Greece. On this fateful voyage, a Roman cargo ship, a merchant vessel of considerable size, was making its way across these waters. She was no ordinary ship. Her holds were packed not with mundane goods, but with an unparalleled collection of Greek art, destined for the opulent villas and private collections of Rome's wealthiest patrons. The journey was meant to be one of triumph, a testament to Roman ambition. But the sea, as it often does, had other plans. Off the coast of modern-day Tunisia, a ferocious storm descended. The sky turned black, waves rose like mountains, and the ship, heavy with its precious cargo, fought a losing battle. With a final groan, she succumbed, plunging into the inky depths, taking with her an entire world of beauty and craftsmanship. For 2,000 years, she lay undisturbed, a silent guardian of her treasures, cradled by the cold embrace of the seabed, waiting. The world above continued. Empires rose and fell, civilizations flourished and faded. But beneath the waves, time had seemingly paused. The Mahdia Shipwreck remained a legend untold, a masterpiece unseen until the dawn of the 20th century. It was the year 1907. A group of Greek sponge divers, hardy men of the sea, were working their traditional fishing grounds off the Tunisian coast. Their routine was shattered by an astonishing sight. At nearly 40 meters deep, they stumbled upon an impossible landscape, a field of marble columns and statues eerily preserved, rising from the sandy bottom. Their shock gave way to a dawning realization. They had found not a natural wonder, but a sunken ship, overflowing with ancient artifacts, the single greatest collection of Greek art ever recovered from the sea. As the news spread and the initial recovery efforts began, the sheer scale and magnificence of the cargo became breathtakingly clear. The ship's holds and even her deck were laden with over 60 massive marble columns, their fluted surfaces still gleaming, alongside intricately carved capitals that once topped grand temples. And then there were the sculptures, a veritable pantheon of gods and mythic figures. Graceful statues of Dionysus and Aphrodite, rendered with breathtaking artistry, emerged from the silt, their forms exquisitely preserved. Each piece, a direct link to the workshops of ancient Athens, showcased a level of Hellenistic craftsmanship that was both profound and inspiring. But among these marble wonders, another treasure emerged, even rarer and more coveted: bronze artworks. In antiquity, bronze was often melted down and repurposed, making surviving pieces incredibly scarce. Yet from the Mahdia wreck came magnificent examples, including a stunning statue of a winged youth, his dynamic posture and intricate detailing defying the passage of time. These bronzes, along with the marble, spoke volumes of a lost era, offering a glimpse into the artistic heights achieved by Greek sculptors. Where did this incredible bounty come from? The prevailing theory, steeped in historical drama, points to the aftermath of a brutal conflict. Many scholars believe this precious cargo was part of the spoils of war, plundered from the revered city of Athens by the formidable Roman general Sulla, following his devastating sacking of the city in 86 BI. Imagine the scene: a city stripped of its artistic soul, its masterpieces loaded onto ships, bound for the eager hands of Roman elites who yearned to adorn their homes. With symbols of Greek culture and power, The very deep-sea environment that had claimed the ship had also become its unlikely protector. 2 millennia of cold, dark, and anaerobic conditions had created a perfect conservation chamber, preserving these fragile treasures in a remarkable state. The wood of the ship might have decayed, but the stone and metal remained, waiting for the light of day once more. The Mahdia Shipwreck wasn't just a discovery. It was a resurrection. It offered a window into a pivotal moment in history, a bridge connecting the artistic genius of Greece with the burgeoning power of Rome. This collection, so rich and profound, instantly became a cornerstone of ancient art studies. But the story of this ship and the treasures she carried is far from over. Her secrets continue to unfold, revealing layer after layer of human ambition, artistic brilliance, and the enduring power of creation against the relentless march of time. What more could this sunken marvel reveal? What further insights could be gleaned from its depths? And how did this single discovery fundamentally change our perception of an entire artistic era? Join us in part 2 as we delve deeper into the wonders brought forth by the Mahdia Shipwreck and explore the meticulous journey of bringing these ancient masterpieces back to life. The Mahdia Shipwreck didn't just add pieces to a collection. It fundamentally rewrote chapters in the history of art. For centuries, our understanding of Hellenistic Greek sculpture was largely filtered through Roman copies. Imagine seeing a magnificent painting only through a faded photograph, or hearing a symphony played by a cover band. That was often the case with Greek art. Roman patrons admired Greek masterpieces so deeply that they commissioned countless reproductions, allowing us a glimpse, but rarely the true vibrant essence of the originals. But here, resting on the seabed, were the originals. These weren't interpretations. They were the direct, untouched creations from the very hands of Athenian masters. This was like finding the original score of that symphony, the actual brushstrokes of that painting. Scholars could now study authentic techniques, the subtle nuances of drapery, the specific chisel marks, the precise anatomical rendering that defined Hellenistic craftsmanship. It was a revelation, allowing art historians to peel back layers of interpretation and finally connect directly with the artistic intention of a bygone era. The shipwreck offered an unparalleled opportunity to bridge the gap between what was known and what was understood about this pivotal period of artistic expression. The sheer volume and variety of the cargo were astonishing. Over 60 monumental marble columns, with their intricately carved capitals, spoke of architectural grandeur. Accompanying them were numerous sculptures of gods and mythic figures. The serene beauty of Aphrodite, the vibrant energy of Dionysus, each piece a testament to the era's artistic prowess. These weren't just decorative items. They were embodiments of a culture's beliefs, its aspirations, its very soul. But perhaps the most breathtaking finds were the bronze artworks. In antiquity, bronze was a highly prized metal, often melted down and repurposed, especially during times of conflict or economic hardship. Finding large, intact bronze statues from this period is incredibly rare, almost miraculous. The Mahdia wreck yielded several, including a truly magnificent statue of a winged youth, possibly an Eros or a Hypnos. Its delicate features, the dynamic flow of its form, the sheer skill required to cast such a complex piece, it was a masterpiece that defied the odds, offering a direct, gleaming window into a lost art form. This single piece, along with others, showed us what we had truly been missing, the vibrant, living quality of original Greek bronze sculpture that had been largely lost to history's crucible. Bringing these treasures back to the surface, and then back to life, was a monumental undertaking, a testament to human ingenuity and dedication that mirrored the ancient artist's own commitment. Discovered in depths of around 40 meters, the recovery efforts were fraught with challenges. Each artifact, having rested undisturbed for 2 millennia, was incredibly fragile. The transition from the stable, dark, deep-sea environment to the oxygen-rich, sunlit world above was a delicate dance. Imagine the painstaking care required to lift a marble column weighing tons, or to gently retrieve a corroded bronze statue without causing further damage. It wasn't just about hauling them up. It was about ensuring their survival. Once on land, the meticulous work of conservation began. Specialized teams worked tirelessly, cleaning away centuries of incrustation, stabilizing the materials, and painstakingly piecing together fragments. This process wasn't merely restorative. It was also revelatory. Each cleaned surface, each reconnected fragment, told a story, revealing details of the artist's methods, the materials used, and the sheer scale of the Roman ambition that sought to possess such beauty. It was a second birth for these artifacts, guided by the hands of modern conservators, ensuring that their ancient voices could be heard once more. Today, the resplendent treasures of the Mahdia Shipwreck form the centerpiece of the Bardo National Museum in Tunis. Stepping into the museum, you are no longer just looking at static objects. You are walking through a direct portal to ancient Athenian workshops. You can almost feel the presence of the sculptors, hear the chisels striking marble, witness the pouring of molten bronze. You see the embodiment of Roman cultural ambition, their desire to absorb and display the pinnacle of Greek artistic achievement. The Mahdia Shipwreck stands as a profound reminder that even in disaster, there can be preservation. It teaches us that the pursuit of beauty, the drive to create, and the ambition to possess art are timeless human endeavors. And it underscores the incredible power of discovery, how a chance encounter with a sunken vessel can not only illuminate the past, but also inspire a deeper appreciation for the enduring legacy of human creativity. The journey of these artifacts, from Athenian workshops to the Roman elite, to the deep seabed, and finally to a museum gallery, is a saga of resilience and revelation. But even with these wonders unveiled, the Mahdia Shipwreck holds more lessons, more whispers from the past, waiting to be fully understood. And what whispers they are! As we delve deeper into the Mahdia Shipwreck's bounty, we begin to comprehend the sheer scale of the artistic wealth it carried. Imagine, if you will, over 60 magnificent marble columns and their intricately carved capitals, destined to adorn a grand Roman villa or public building. These weren't mere architectural elements. They were statements of power, echoes of the Parthenon, meticulously crafted by master Hellenistic artisans. But even more breathtaking were the numerous sculptures of gods and mythic figures nestled amongst them. Here, in the shadowy depths, rested the very essence of ancient Greek mythology brought to life. You could trace the elegant curves of an Aphrodite, goddess of love, her form imbued with a naturalism and grace that transcended the stone. Her serene expression, the delicate drapery, spoke volumes of Hellenistic genius, a time when sculptors captured emotion, movement, and the human spirit with unprecedented fidelity. Then there was Dionysus, the god of wine and revelry, perhaps in joyful abandon, his youthful face alight with life, his body poised in dynamic motion. These weren't cold, distant deities. They were vibrant, expressive characters, designed to engage the viewer, to transport them to a world of myth and beauty. Each chisel mark, each polished surface, was a testament to a craftsmanship that sought not just to represent, but to evoke. Yet, as extraordinary as these marble masterpieces were, the shipwreck held an even rarer treasure: bronze artworks. In antiquity, bronze was immensely valuable, often melted down and repurposed during times of conflict or economic hardship. Finding significant bronze sculptures from this era is akin to discovering pure gold. The Mahdia wreck, defying this cruel fate, yielded several, most notably a magnificent statue of a winged youth. This figure, often speculated to be Eros, embodies ethereal beauty and dynamic energy. Its wings, once spread wide, hint at flight, at freedom, at a spirit unbound. The skill required to cast such a large and intricate bronze, capturing delicate features and powerful musculature, was immense, a true marvel of ancient engineering and artistic vision. These bronze pieces were not just art. They were survivors, testaments to a period where they were considered even more precious than marble. The presence of such an unparalleled collection, particularly of original Athenian works, wasn't accidental. It tells a story of ambition, conquest, and the insatiable Roman appetite for Greek culture. Scholars now widely believe this entire cargo represented the spoils of war, plundered by the Roman general Sulla during his brutal sacking of Athens in 86 BC. Imagine the scene. A city renowned for its philosophy, its democracy, and its art, laid low by a conquering army. Sulla, a man of immense power, understood the propaganda value and cultural prestige these masterpieces would bring to Rome. This ship, laden with the soul of Athens, was likely destined for the grand estates of wealthy Roman elites, eager to display their sophistication and dominance. This discovery didn't just add new pieces to the art historical puzzle. It fundamentally transformed our understanding of Hellenistic art. Before Mahdia, much of what scholars knew came from Roman copies, often skillful, but still interpretations. The Mahdia Shipwreck provided a direct window into authentic Athenian workshops, offering original works that allowed scholars to study the true techniques, styles, and emotional depth of Hellenistic craftsmanship. It was like finally hearing the original symphony after only ever knowing cover versions. The subtle variations in marble carving, the specific alloys used in bronze, the distinctive artistic signatures, all became available for direct, unmediated study, pushing the boundaries of what was known about ancient art and the miracle of their preservation. It lay in the very environment that claimed the ship. The deep sea, with its stable temperatures, low oxygen levels, and relative darkness, acted as a perfect natural conservation chamber. For 2 millennia, these masterpieces rested in suspended animation, shielded from the ravages of time and human interference. The ocean, often a destructive force, here became a silent guardian, holding history's breath until the precise moment of rediscovery. The Mahdia Shipwreck, therefore, is more than just a collection of beautiful objects. It is a profound narrative of loss and salvation, of human ambition and artistic resilience. It speaks of the enduring power of art to transcend conflict, to bridge millennia, and to continually offer new insights into the human spirit. But what deeper lessons can we draw from this extraordinary journey, from the depths of the sea to the light of the museum? What does this time capsule truly teach us about ourselves and the value we place on creativity? What does this time capsule truly teach us about ourselves and the value we place on creativity? The Mahdia Shipwreck offers us a profound mirror, reflecting not only the artistic prowess of ancient Greece, but also the insatiable human desire for beauty, status, and connection to something greater than ourselves. Before its discovery, our understanding of Hellenistic art was largely filtered through the lens of Roman interpretations. Imagine trying to understand the brilliance of a master painter by only ever seeing student copies. You might grasp the composition, the subject, perhaps even the color palette, but you would miss the subtle brushstrokes, the unique texture, the very soul poured into the original work, the scholarly dilemma before Mahdia. Then, the ocean yielded its secrets. Suddenly, scholars weren't just looking at copies. They were touching the very marble and bronze that Athenian masters had shaped with their own hands. The distinction was breathtaking. Original Athenian works, vibrant and authentic, revealed a depth of emotion, a dynamism in form, and a precision in technique that Roman copies, however skilled, simply couldn't replicate. It was like hearing the true voice of a legendary singer after only ever knowing cover versions. The subtle variations in marble carving, the specific alloys used in bronze, the distinctive artistic signatures, all became available for direct, unmediated study. This wasn't merely adding new pieces to a collection. It was recalibrating our entire understanding of an epoch. It taught us that context and authenticity are not just academic footnotes, but vital keys to unlocking true understanding and appreciation. And the miracle of their preservation? It lay in the very environment that claimed the ship. The deep sea, with its stable temperatures, low oxygen levels, and relative darkness, acted as a perfect natural conservation chamber. For 2 millennia, these masterpieces rested in suspended animation, shielded from the ravages of time and human interference. Think of the sheer improbability. Most ancient artifacts, if not melted down or destroyed by conflict, succumb to the relentless march of erosion, exposure to elements, or human neglect. Yet here, beneath the waves, an entire gallery lay untouched, a silent testament to nature's unexpected role as a guardian of history. The ocean, often a destructive force, here became a silent protector, holding history's breath until the precise moment of rediscovery. It reminds us that sometimes the most challenging circumstances can inadvertently become the greatest preservers of what is truly valuable. The journey from the seabed to the light of day was in itself an epic undertaking. The pioneering work of the Greek sponge divers in 1907, then subsequent archaeological expeditions, faced immense challenges: the crushing pressure, the limited visibility, the sheer scale of the recovery. Each retrieved piece was a victory, a delicate dance between human ingenuity and the ocean's formidable power. Once brought to the surface, these treasures began their new life, carefully conserved and studied, ready to tell their story to a modern world. Today, these magnificent artifacts are not scattered across private collections or lost to obscurity. Instead, they form the cornerstone of the Bardo National Museum in Tunis. Stepping into the Mahdia Shipwreck Hall at the Bardo is like stepping directly into an ancient Athenian workshop. Then fast-forwarding to a Roman collector's private gallery, the sheer volume and vast quality of the collection are staggering. You stand face to face with the very gods and mythic figures that inspired generations: the powerful Dionysus, the serene Aphrodite, the poised winged youth. These aren't reproductions. They are the originals, imbued with the spirit of their creators and the weight of 2 millennia. The Bardo Museum doesn't just display these objects. It curates a direct, tangible link to ancient Athenian workshops and the ambitious cultural aspirations of Roman elites. It allows us to trace the journey of ideas, of artistic styles, and of human ambition across empires. It's a place where the past isn't just remembered. It's present, vibrant, and alive, speaking to us across the ages. The Mahdia collection serves as a powerful reminder that even when things seem lost forever, when ambitions are thwarted by fate, and when the forces of nature seem insurmountable, beauty and truth can endure. They can wait patiently in the deepest silence for their moment to re-emerge and inspire us anew. The shipwreck, then, is not just a tale of ancient art. It is a profound testament to the resilience of human creativity and the enduring quest for meaning, even when faced with the overwhelming power of the unknown. It urges us to consider what treasures we are preserving, what stories we are allowing to sink into obscurity, and what efforts we are making to bring them back to the light. This incredible saga of loss, discovery, and preservation offers a powerful message for our own lives. It speaks to the idea that even our most cherished creations, our grandest plans, or our deepest passions might face unexpected storms and be lost to the depths. Yet also whispers of hope, that with time, patience, and the right conditions, what was lost can be found again, perhaps even more perfectly preserved than we could have imagined. It teaches us about the enduring value of authenticity, the unexpected guardians of our dreams, and the eventual triumph of beauty over adversity. But how do these grand lessons translate into our personal journeys? And what specific wisdom can we draw from this watery grave? The wisdom from this watery grave, my friends, is profound, speaking directly to the storms we all inevitably face. Imagine your grandest ambition, your most meticulously crafted plan, your most cherished creation as that Roman cargo ship. You've loaded it with everything precious. Your hopes, your dreams, your hard work, your talent. You set sail, confident in your destination, perhaps a metaphorical Rome where your efforts will be celebrated and valued. But then, unexpectedly, the storm hits. A sudden, violent squall of life. A setback, a failure, a betrayal, a crisis threatens to capsize everything you hold dear. Just like the Mahdia, your ship might go down. Your dreams might seem to vanish beneath the waves, lost to the indifferent depths. The initial shock, grief, and despair can be overwhelming. You might feel your efforts were for naught, your treasures forever gone, swallowed by the unknown. This is the moment when many are tempted to give up, to believe that their story has ended in tragedy, that their art, their purpose, their very essence is destined for obscurity. But the Mahdia Shipwreck offers a radically different perspective on loss. For 2 millennia, those magnificent sculptures, those intricate bronzes, those towering marble columns lay in the deep, not in a destructive, corrosive environment, but in a perfect conservation chamber. The darkness, the cold, the immense pressure of the deep sea didn't destroy them. They preserved them. Away from the eroding winds and waves of the surface, untouched by human interference or the ravages of time and conflict, these artifacts were held in a suspended state of perfection. What if the depths in your own life, those periods of forced quiet, of unexpected solitude, of seeming stagnation, are not curses, but hidden blessings? What if they are your own personal conservation chambers? When your plans are derailed, when you are forced to retreat, when you feel disconnected from the bustling surface world, you often perceive it as a failure. Yet, it can be precisely in these moments of withdrawal that you are preserved, refined and strengthened in ways you couldn't have imagined. It's a time for your true essence, your authentic self, to settle, to solidify, away from the constant pressures and expectations of the world. Think about the profound revelation the Mahdia collection brought. Original Athenian works, not just Roman copies. For so long, scholars had only seen Roman interpretations, echoes of the Greek masters. But the shipwreck unveiled the authentic. This speaks a powerful truth. The world doesn't need another copy. It doesn't need you to imitate someone else's success, someone else's style, or someone else's path. It needs your original, your authentic contribution. Perhaps you felt the pressure to conform, to dilute your unique vision to fit in, to create something that's merely a copy of what's already popular. But the Mahdia whispers a different message. Your true genius lies in your originality, your unique perspective, your particular blend of talents, your distinct voice. These are your bronzes, your Dionysus, your Aphrodite waiting to be revealed. When stripped of external validation and forced into your own depths, you often emerge with a clearer understanding of what truly makes you you, free from the imitations once thought necessary. The cargo itself, believed to be spoils of war from Sulla's sacking of Athens, destined for wealthy Roman elites, carries another layer of meaning. These treasures were taken from a place of conflict, intended for a specific ambitious purpose, yet fate intervened. The storm redirected their journey, not to a Roman villa, but to a silent, watery museum that would eventually share them with the entire world, not just a select few. This reminds you that even when your efforts are born from struggle, from perceived battles, or when your creations are intended for a specific outcome, the universe often has a grander, more inclusive plan. Your personal spoils of war, the lessons learned from your hardest fights, the resilience forged in adversity, the wisdom gained through sacrifice. These are not just for your benefit. They are treasures that, with time and preservation, can inspire and enrich a far wider audience than you ever imagined. The Mahdia wasn't just for a Roman noble. It became a gift to humanity, a direct link to the heart of Hellenistic art. So, when your ship encounters its storm, when your treasures seem to sink into the abyss, remember the Mahdia. Remember that what appears to be an end might simply be a profound rerouting, a period of vital preservation for your authentic self. It's a chance for your true, authentic self to be protected, to mature, to wait for re-emergence. It teaches that some of the greatest revelations, the most transformative discoveries, often come from the places you least expect, from the very depths where you thought all hope was lost. It's a testament to the enduring power of what is real, what is true, and what is meant to inspire, no matter how long it takes. The question isn't whether your treasures will resurface, but whether you have the patience and faith to allow the depths to preserve your authentic self for its eventual unveiling. The question isn't whether your treasures will resurface, but whether you have the patience and faith to allow the depths to preserve your authentic self for its eventual unveiling. And unveil they did. For 2 millennia, the Mahdia Shipwreck lay silent, a submerged sanctuary. The deep-sea environment, often perceived as a desolate void, became the perfect conservation chamber. It wasn't a destructive force, but a protective embrace, shielding every curve of marble, every delicate bronze detail from the ravages of air and time. Imagine that for a moment. 2,000 years, suspended in a cool, dark, saline cradle. This wasn't a period of loss. It was a profound act of preservation, ensuring that when the moment was right, these treasures would emerge not as faded echoes, but as vibrant testaments to human genius. Think of your own periods of quiet, your own depths. When you feel unseen, unheard, or when circumstances force you into a state of introspection and solitude, it's easy to perceive it as a setback, a time when your light is dimmed. But what if, like the Mahdia, these are precisely the moments when you are being most profoundly preserved? What if the challenges you face, the isolation you endure, the very storms that seem to sink your ambitions, are actually creating a protective environment for your most authentic self to mature, to solidify, to wait for its perfect moment to rise? It is in these depths that your true resilience is forged, your unique qualities safeguarded, away from the superficial demands and transient trends of the surface world. Then, in 1907, the silence was broken. Not by a grand expedition, but by Greek sponge divers seeking life in the very depths that had guarded history. Their discovery wasn't just another find. It was a revelation that sent ripples through the world of art and archaeology. Suddenly, what was considered lost was found, and what was understood was irrevocably transformed. The Mahdia Shipwreck yielded the single greatest collection of Greek art ever recovered from the sea, a treasure trove beyond imagination. This wasn't just about finding beautiful objects. It was about finding truth. For centuries, scholars had relied heavily on Roman copies to understand Hellenistic art. These copies, while valuable, were filtered interpretations, often lacking the original Athenian spark, the nuanced hand of the master craftsman. But the Mahdia cargo offered something infinitely more profound: original Athenian works. Over 60 marble columns, intricate capitals, and numerous sculptures of gods and mythic figures, Dionysus, Aphrodite, and so many more, emerged from the darkness. They were direct links, untouched by later hands, showcasing Hellenistic craftsmanship in its purest, most authentic form. This discovery transformed the understanding of an entire era. It allowed scholars to study authentic techniques and styles, to see the true power and grace of artists whose names might have been lost to time, but whose genius was undeniable. The Mahdia didn't just add to a collection. It rewrote chapters of art history, providing an unfiltered window into the heart of ancient Greek creativity. And then there were the bronzes. Rare, highly prized, and notoriously vulnerable to being melted down for reuse in antiquity. These bronze artworks were true miracles of survival. Imagine the statue of a magnificent winged youth, emerging from the depths, its form still graceful, its expression still captivating, after 2 millennia. These weren't mere artifacts. They were whispers from a distant past, defying time and destruction. This, my friends, is the ultimate message of the Mahdia. Your true value, your authentic self, is not diminished by the storms you face, nor by the depths into which you might temporarily sink. On the contrary, these experiences can preserve and refine you. They can protect your unique essence from the compromises and imitations that might otherwise dilute your spirit. When you emerge, when your moment of unveiling arrives, you won't be a copy. You will be an original. You will be the authentic work, bearing the marks of your journey, but radiating a truth that only deep preservation can bestow. Today, the treasures of the Mahdia Shipwreck are the centerpiece of the Bardo National Museum in Tunis. They are no longer destined for a single Roman elite, but are freely offered to the world. They provide a direct, tangible link to ancient Athenian workshops, allowing millions to gaze upon the very creations that once adorned the grandest cities of antiquity. They stand as a testament not only to Roman cultural ambition, but more importantly, to the enduring power of art, the resilience of human ingenuity, and the profound wisdom of time and nature. So, as you navigate your own life's journey, remember the Mahdia. Trust the process, even when it leads you into the deep. Have faith that your authentic self, your unique treasures, are being preserved, not lost. Embrace the quiet periods, the challenges, the moments when you feel submerged, for these are the very conditions that prepare you for your magnificent unveiling. Your story, your art, your truth is meant to inspire. And when it rises, it will not just be for a select few, but for all who are ready to witness the extraordinary power of an original, preserved by the depths, and finally, gloriously revealed. Your time will come. Your treasures will shine.